all of the pro players and like actual humans on NA ladder went
Yeah.
to went to Marvel Rivals, and now all the lobbies are like junk and Moira one tricks in like mid GM. So
That's great.
you'll pop instead of like tree scissors like infected, you'll pop a lobby of like Burandango, Moira's lab rat, and then like and then like kiss my junk and then RMG on the other team, and then like
Yeah.
it's just so boring playing junk Moira mirror, and then your Moira gets gapped, and then I mean,
Yeah.
Moira gets gapped is
yeah,
crazy.
yes,
Like,
yes.
Hello, guys. This is the very first episode of this podcast where we talk Marvel Rivals and we also talk Overwatch because I've given this game 7 straight years of my life. There's no way I can get over it so soon. So, with Marvel Rivals out, there is definitely a new ray of hope for Marvel Rivals, and I think there is some ray of hope for Overwatch as well. That is what I feel. Again, there are very distinguished individuals with me on my first episode. Starting on my left is Overshake, who's been former Apac Pro. He's played for various Southeast Asian teams and performed at the highest level, attended LANs, played in LANs, and he's done pretty well for the Southeast Asian region. Hi, Overshake.
hello, how you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Coming to the next guest is very distinguished 16-year-old Reinhardt prodigy from DNA. He reached rank 5, I think, last season, and he has reached champ 4, of course. And I'm really happy to have him here. Thank you for joining today, Mr. Glacier.
Hey, thank you.
Uh, and then Nightwing, he's a very core member in the Indian Overwatch community, one of the veterans in the scene. He's been in the SEA ladder for the longest, and then he shifted to UK. Moved his focus to the UK ladder or the European ladder, and then played in a lot of collegiate tournaments and a lot of open divisions. And welcome, Nightwing.
Happy to be here.
Oh, thank you so much, you guys, for joining in. Now, when I wanted to start this podcast, I had a couple of things in mind. Like the state of the game of Overwatch forced me to swap my primary game to Marvel Rivals, guys. That is what happened with me personally. And since I have started playing in C, like the Southeast Asian, the Singapore server, I have seen a huge influx of all the Overwatch players that I used to play with. Every second game is at least 4 or 5 known names in my games that I had in the Singapore in Singapore region of the Overwatch community. It's the same names. I just wanted to know a bit of your thoughts here, Overshake, on how you feel the Overwatch community is adapting to the Marvel Rivals, or how are you adapting to it, or what do you feel about the transition that you're facing right now?
I think Marvel Rivals is arguably it's like a relatively easier game compared to
Okay.
Overwatch, right? Like, I think the maps are like super linear, like it's like super one-dimensional, like the way that the game is played. But it's probably also because it is like a third-person shooter, so it feels that way, and it's also because it's like a new game. So, like
Right.
it's probably gonna be way more different, like when the game has been out for like 7 or 8 years and it's just mapped out to the T like Overwatch. I don't think like I think like a lot of people are just like a lot of the super high rank people, they're just like aimers, right? Like it's just
Right. What do you do
yeah.
when Hela is banned?
What do I just like I don't know, I just play like shotgun Punisher, or like I just like jump around on like Black Panther or something. I
Right.
just like to play whatever that's like brings the most hatred in like the lobby.
Okay, so you like to adapt to whatever is strongest version of the heroes, and you try to bring the stronger heroes in the lobby, like whatever is stronger after what is banned, right?
Yeah, I think there is definitely like a skill gap, like
Yeah.
to like a certain aspect of it, because like a lot of people in low rank think like Iron Man is really bad, and then like a lot of people in high
No,
rank
it's
think
not.
like Iron Man is really good.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like there's definitely like a sort of like split between like the casual
yeah,
and the pros, I think.
yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Talking to Glacier, what do you think is like you've not given Marvel Rivals a fair try, I suppose, but since you're in a very close context with Overwatch still, and are still grinding the game to a very large extent, how do you rate the current state of Overwatch. Like, what do you think the current state of Overwatch is right now? And can it be better, or like is it best right now?
Someone's getting a phone call.
Yeah, I'm hearing that.
Yeah, I am getting it. It's fine. Anyway, so yeah. So the question again. You've been playing this game for the longest, and you're still playing it. You've not given
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals a fair try. That's what you said. So why are you still sticking to Marvel Rivals? Sorry, Overwatch. And what do you think about the current, like the exact current state of the game? Don't compare it to any state. I just want to like know right now, season 14, right? What is season 14 like?
Okay, so it kind of sounds weird, but I've been playing Overwatch since I was 9, so I kind of grew up on the game. So
Okay.
yeah, so
How old are you now?
I'm 16. So
He's 16.
Oh,
it's kind of what I've
damn.
always stuck with it. It's kind of what I've always done. So it feels kind of weird like having to learn an entirely new game. Like Overwatch is my first FPS and everything. So, but in general, I feel like the state of the game right now is like obviously it's not good. Everyone knows that, but I feel like it's been worse at times. Like end of like Graveyard season. I feel like Graveyard season was like the worst time for Overwatch like ever. Like I don't think anyone enjoyed the game during that time. So
Why do you think it's bad? Like I get it, it's bad. Like I feel the same. Like of course because I transitioned myself somewhat. I'm still trying to. But why is it bad?
I feel like Overwatch is bad like as a game right now because it's more tuned to like a competitive aspect than Marvel Rivals is. Like I feel like Marvel Rivals just came out, so it's more tuned to like the casual player and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like Overwatch is bad when there's only one comp that's good and nothing can counter it. So stuff like goats, I mean, like other comps like that. But like when there's one like ultimate meta that like nothing can, and Marvel Rivals kind of isn't like that yet because there's so many characters that are like actually viable in the game. Like obviously there's heroes that are better, there are characters that are better than others, but right now it's just like what Hazard, Lucio, Kiri, Soj, Genji, or whatever. Like that's just like no one plays anything else because it's so good.
So that has been the case, not from like that's not a season 14 issue. That is a season 0 issue. Like they pick one meta and they just just memorize it to the core, like all the pro teams, of course, and they just they grind that one meta to their maximum potential, and that's what we keep seeing. Like maybe one or two swaps in a comp, but it is mostly the same comp every game, probably mirror metas, unless one team is running a team of one trick or someone has a one trick in their team. Like for example,
like
maybe SRP, like maybe like I remember this SR Peak Check team where Cloudy played. They played Reinhardt. They kept forcing Reinhardt, and they kind of failed miserably towards the end because the hero was not good. No matter how good the player is, the hero is not good, and they kept forcing it and they kept losing towards the end. So that is where I also feel that there's this one meta that is enforced by the devs, and they just you have to memorize it to the extent where you can just play it at the highest level, and that is I feel that Nightwing, you've played Overwatch for a really long time now, and you've just touched, I think you just like barely touched Marvel Rivals. What do you think about this meta situation that has been brought to us by the, I don't know, like who brings this meta? Do the devs bring the meta or do the players force it? Like what do you think is the issue here?
Meta situation in terms of Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
So here's my take. I think for any game, the most fun the majority of the community will have is probably during the discovery phase. That's going to be either a new character release, new map release, or a patch, right? Or in some cases, new features being added to the game. So, for example, Overwatch did actually experiment with stuff like hero bans in the past as well, and there was a sort of a twofold response that I saw in the community. Some people were being forced to get off of their mains and experiment with different team comps, but on the professional level, people were really complaining about it because the turnaround time between the hero ban being announced, the pros scrimming it, and then them having to actually play it in contenders or Overwatch League was incredibly stressful for everyone. But for the community, that sort of thing provides a way for people to have fun. So I
Right.
think Overwatch always struggled to find that balance between how to keep content coming to like avoid that single dominant comp showing up over and over again.
Right.
Like there's a balance between that comp just ruling everything all the time, and then also too frequent changes also throw people off, and that also makes people not have fun. So I think that's something that the game has struggled for the longest time. And the good thing is Marvel Rivals has a lot of game tape in terms of the decisions Overwatch has made, and they're really well poised to be able to make better decisions based off of what they've seen in the past.
Right. So do you think Overshake, like Marvel Rivals, are making better decisions in the? It's been a month. No, it's not been a month. It's been like 15, 20 days, I think, whatever it is. Do you think they're making better decisions since you've given both the games not equal amount of time, but the amount of time that the game has been released, you've been playing since day one. So I would take that as long. You've given it some time, and you've also played Overwatch for the longest. Do you think Marvel Rivals are making lesser mistakes compared to Overwatch?
I mean, it's hard to say now, right? Because like,
Yep.
Overwatch has been out for 7 years, and I didn't even play the beta, so like
Right.
for Marvel Rivals, so I don't really know that much about it. But I've been playing it since like the launch, and I think overall, as of now, the game is not really balanced. I mean, like
Right.
it's like very. I think it's very fair to say that like certain heroes you see in every game besides like other heroes, and I think like if Marvel Rivals was out for like 7 or 8 years, like it would have the same problem with Overwatch, where like the same thing is just being played over and over again.
Right.
So, but I think like
We-
people tolerate it way more because it's a new game. So
Right.
yeah, that's what I think.
I think I'm being pretty harsh on Overwatch, because it has been in that stage for 7 years now. I am pretty harsh on it because I've played the game for the longest. So when it's been like at least 2 years since Overwatch 2 has released, right? Glacier, and you've been a part of it for at least 2 years, like, because I'm not even gonna go to Overwatch 1 and how it failed or how it was great in its glory days. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just focused on the game that is presented to us right now, which is Overwatch 2, and its release has been like 2 years, a bit more than 2 years, right?
Yeah, like a little over
yeah,
2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, just 2 years, 2 months or something. So how do you think that fares up? How do you think you played Overwatch 2 on day one, right? And you playing Overwatch 2 today, right? After this interview or this podcast, you just shut down this podcast and you log into your Overwatch. What do you think is your mentality, mindset, your thought process? What has changed? Has the fun experience stayed the same, or has it changed, or are you just monotonous? Because I figured out my problem. I think I'm addicted to Overwatch. I think I was addicted to Overwatch, and I'm not kidding. I was addicted. I streamed for longer than any other streamer. Like, I'm not kidding. No streamer streamed like me. I streamed for 10 plus hours every day. Every day. Like, it was not a joke, and I burnt myself out because I was addicted to it. Right. And this is not on anyone. This is what I felt. This was my take on my situation. So that is why I was playing that game for the longest. I figured it out. Right. Why do you still keep playing the game? How fun is it then versus now?
I feel like then there was probably a little more fun, but because the only reason I think that is because I feel like there was more hero options you could be. Like, in this state of Overwatch, I feel like there's not much you can pick and like be viable, like in a ranked game or something like that, as you can right now on like, because like right now if you pick like, say you pick like Roadhog, like you're just gonna like get folded over and do nothing. But like season 1 or something, if you pick Hog, you can actually make it viable because Hog was somehow meta. So
is it because the hero is it because the hero is underpowered, or is it because the players know how to counter it? Because don't get me wrong, like Reinhardt is very viable. Like, if you look at it in that way, because if you look at the leaderboard in the last 2 seasons, There have been
Yeah.
more Reinhardt players than there had been in the last, like, the seasons before. But it's also very easy to counter. Like, if you are getting what I'm saying, like the heroes that people
Mhm.
pick to counter Reinhardt are very easy to play, so it gets countered easily. So why do you think a character like Roadhog doesn't is not very valid when it comes to it? Just do people just blatantly counter him, or is it just hard to play, or like what?
I feel like it's very easy. I mean, it's the same boat. Roadhog's in the same boat as Reinhardt, where it's just so easy to counter, especially
Yeah.
now that Mog is out. I mean, you literally can't do anything on Hog into Maga. It's just not possible. So
Right.
you literally just pick Maga and then just M1 on Hog the whole fight, and you'll have like 40k damage at the end of the game and like 2 kills, and then you'll still somehow win. So, I mean,
Right. So how has the fun experience been for you? Like, now, do you have less fun? Do you feel that you wanna swap, or you wanna look for options, or like, what do you feel?
I feel like I'm the same as you, is in that, like, I feel like I'm addicted to Overwatch, but I mean, this season I'm not having a great time because Rein sucks because Hazard exists. So Hazard just
Right.
runs in my back line. I can't do anything. I started the season 1-11 on my main account somehow. So yeah, it's not going very great.
Okay. Is it all because of Hazard, or what?
It's not
Has
even
it always
Hazard.
not
It's
been?
just
Has it not always been a new hero comes out and all the old heroes become bad, like, except for maybe Life Fever? Yeah. Has that not always been a thing? Like, one new hero comes out and everything that existed before it just becomes bad. Nightwing, like, what do you feel?
yeah.
I don't think that was always the case. I think, if I remember correctly, Sombra was pretty bad on release, but that's talking about Overwatch 1.
No,
Uh,
just two.
if you just want to talk about 2, I mean, the new heroes that came out with the release
Yeah.
changed from Overwatch 2. Those were pretty strong. Like Sojourn dominated a lot, for example. But I don't know. Yeah, apart from Life Fever, I think most of the hero releases have been like that. But I think that's also fair enough, in terms of if you're a developer trying to make the game feel fresh and exciting. uh, Adding a weak character will not do any favors for the game in terms of PR or players being interested in trying new things or playing the game or playing the new character. So
Right.
I think it might genuinely not be such a bad idea for a new hero to actually change things up. Because imagine if Hazard was just completely unplayable. Then
Right.
you would have no difference from season 13 to season 14. People would be playing the exact same thing, right?
Right.
So then the impact of the new content the developers are actively creating would have no impact. So I think, I can see the argument for why releasing a slightly strong character that actually
Yeah.
changes how the game is played.
Right.
Like why the developers would do that.
Good. Got it. Got it. Do you think, Overshake, like, when it comes about when it's about actually, how to balance the game, right? Do you think the how should I compare it to Rivals? I can't compare it to Rivals. What I'm doing this one time is I'm trying to compare it to Overwatch 1. When the balance thing happens, like, of course, when you release some hero, they have to be OP. I feel it. I know it. They have to be OP, or people won't play it because it'll get the Life Fever treatment. But when it comes to balancing it, do you think Blizzard has done a good job over the years? Like, when a new hero comes out and it is strong, right? Okay, it's blatantly strong. Like, you look at Kiriko, Sojourn, Mauga, whatever came out, right? And now has it, right? Uh, it's strong, right? I get it. But when it comes to tuning them, like maybe in a patch later, do you think, or maybe in 2 patches, 4 patches, 5 patches, do you think they have done a good job in tuning characters, so that it will never become a level playing field? So it will never be like 33 characters are viable in all, 20 different maps. That will not be the case. I get it. But do you think they have done a good job in making the game fun in the last 2 years? Or if you don't think, then what do you think should be, in your opinion, as a player, not as a dev? What do you think should, be changed to just incorporate fun in the game?
I think like fun is like more relative, I guess,
Yeah.
to
So
like
what is fun for you?
to
What is
the
fun for you?
player, right? Um,
Yeah.
oh, fun is like playing like Junkrat and then like triple mining into like a support or something. Like that's fun for me,
Right.
right?
Okay.
But I
Okay.
feel like, for that support player, it's not fun, and he's gonna switch off his keyboard. I mean, he's gonna switch off his computer after that game.
Yeah.
I think like in I think what Overwatch lacks is like I think the issue there was like a big balancing issue of like when you're making like a hyper FPS shooter like Overwatch, or like trying to like make it like fun for everyone, and well, I think you just can't make it fun for everyone, right? Like, because some heroes are going to be good and some heroes are going to be bad, and the people that really want to force the bad heroes are probably going to be in the low ranks, unless you're like a fucking Chad like Glacier, like forcing Reinhardt into champion. But
Yeah.
I think like balancing these type of games, like you really need like someone that's like super how do I say it? Like I think if you are a game dev, you need to know like what certain heroes do in certain situations, and like what if they're like good for certain things. They need to
So the
understand what the game
micros, like
needs.
so the exact like small details, right?
Yeah, and I think like they should also like Overwatch had this thing where like they want to keep everything confidential all the time, and like like the pro players, they don't get to hear shit. Like the pro teams don't even know what's going on, right? Like I feel like these pro teams should be able to like test. Oh shit, my mic. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
These like these pro teams should be able to like test like these like new heroes and like different types of metas to like see like if it's like enjoyable, I guess, or like the pro should be at least able to like test out, you know, when something new comes up, instead of like Bob, John, and Henry in the development team like playing fucking Mauga and Gold or something. So yeah, I think that's really important. Like just like letting the pros like try out the characters, to like see how they feel about it, and yeah, just like so that like grand finals isn't like Reaper, Echo, Mauga. Like that's like such a boring meta to watch.
And it's just a mirror. Like it's just not like one team playing it, another team trying to counter it, or playing something else and trying to be viable. It's just Mauga on both teams, both having a Reaper to shoot the other Mauga, the Mauga shooting the Mauga, and that Mauga shooting this Mauga, and 7 cooldowns thrown at the Mauga. So
yeah, because like this game, they made so many heroes for a reason, not for like 5 characters to only be played. So I feel like if someone is like really good at something, like they should be rewarded for that, instead of like being forced to play like other things that are good because of a balance patch. I feel like it should be like more of like you're rewarded because of a certain skill set you have, instead of like trying to just force yourself into a mold that you're not. Not every player is like super malleable,
Sure, got it. Now that's a good insight. Like Glacier, like couple of like very important takes that I'll try to incorporate on how I feel about it as well. When I started playing, shifting from like when I played both the betas. I played on your server, like on the NA server on 300 ping. I played ranked on that server. I met a lot of pro people, and then I made a lot of content around it. Right, when I was playing on your server, because all players were playing on your server. There was only one server available then. Since then, I have been a big fan of this game. Even Overshake came to my stream and he asked, "Why are you playing this? And how can I play this game? Can I get a code and everything?" And I told him, "This is the process. Yeah, this is the process and how you can get it." He asked it, and now he's enjoying the game. I'm not sure how much, but I'm pretty sure he's on a very basic level. He's having fun in the game because he's good at the game. He's got a good team. He's competing to some extent. He's doing fairly decent, right? So when it comes to rivals, and when you are playing in the most I will not say it's the most competitive ladder when it comes to NA, but it's the most known ladder. Like all the pro players, or not maybe pro, but all the decent figures. For example, I'll just name like big streamers like maybe J3, maybe Flats, whoever, right? Emong, they make content around the NA ladder, right? That's where they make the content. So when Marvel Rivals came out, and when you were also grinding the game, which is Overwatch, do you think it impacted? Like, did you guys talk amongst yourself as Overwatch players and what the future of the game is going to be, how the game is going to turn out? Is it going to be a good change, or is it going to be a bad change for Overwatch? Like, did you guys talk amongst yourself, like your NA ladder peeps? How did it impact your own look, your own perspective about Overwatch?
No one really talked about it, but I'll say one of the effects of it is
Yeah.
all of the pro players and like actual humans on NA ladder went
Yeah.
to Marvel Rivals, and now all the lobbies are like junk and Moira one tricks in like mid GM. So
That's great.
you'll pop instead of like tree scissors like infected, you'll pop a lobby of like Burandango, Moira's lab rat, and then like and then like kiss my junk and then RMG on the other team, and then like
Yeah.
it's just so boring playing junk Moira beer, and then your Moira gets gapped, and then I mean,
Yeah.
Moira gets capped is
yeah,
crazy.
yes,
Like,
yes. I had some guy called Fuzz on Moira, and he refuses to switch, and like, it's I mean,
That's what I'm talking about, you know?
yeah, I mean,
being young is
Those-
so good, you know. Glacier's
there's-
like 16. He just like remembers all the fucking like avoids in
Yeah.
his brain.
I do. So all
And I
the
got-
like, so I mean,
So do you-
those people
yeah.
were there before, but then with the actual people like leaving.
Yeah,
the
they
game
used to
and
get
starting to play Rumble.
submerged. Yeah, they used to
Yeah.
get like a bit like, yeah, I get it. Like they would come maybe 1 in 10 games, maybe. But now it's every game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so that feels really awful. It's the same, you know. Like I'll tell you an experience that I had. I was playing Overwatch. One game I played. I don't know. Maybe Overshake was in the game last day. I'm not sure.
It was a Dorado.
The Dorado game, right? I
I
just
was
queued and
just-
I played Reinhardt on Dorado, right? And I was not swapping. No matter what happened, I won, I lost. I did not care. It was yesterday. I would not swap. And trust me, bro, I'm not kidding. There is not one decent player left. And I've played like 6-7 games. There is no player who I knew. There is no one. There's no one. Like
Yeah,
some
I know.
people know me. Some people know me. They ask like, "Why are you here? Hi, welcome back." But apart from maybe 5-6 people, there is no one who's playing that game. Like no friends. All my friends or on the SEA, like Southeast Asian people, they just left. Like, the Indian people, they left. No one is playing it. So is it like a good thing for Overwatch Nightwing? Do you think it's a good thing, or is it like an actual bad thing, where you can't see it getting better for Overwatch, or do you think it'll get better for Overwatch?
I mean, there's a few different outlooks you could have about that. I'll just run you through what's in my mind. So, first of all, I think competition just in general is a good thing, and regardless of whether or not it's good, the fact is the game is here. Marvel Rivals is here to stay, right? So the opportunity that is afforded to Overwatch for this is the competition can also lead the Overwatch team to be pressured into actually making meaningful changes, and that's what they're doing even with the 6v6 experiments, right? So they do have the opportunity to
Have you played the 6v6? Have you played the 6v6?
I have, and
do you like it?
it's enjoyable. They've definitely experimented with some changes, and I think generally maybe it's just my nostalgia, but checking out things like the Rein Zarya comp, right? It is something that's genuinely fun because I mean, Overwatch 2's 5v5 was an okay format, but the fact of the matter was that there was just this thing where that you have one tank and he's your god, basically, to some degree. Even though obviously, at times DPS or support would be the most impactful role depending on whatever the balance situation would be. I think this is a blow to the player base, obviously, because people are actively leaving your game and they're not giving you watch time. They're not giving you, play time. So that focus is being taken away from Overwatch. But the fact of the matter is, this is almost a decade-old game at this point, and the player base will leave you at some point, and it will start to dwindle. The only thing you can do as a developer, or as someone managing Overwatch, is see what changes you can make to retain your current player base, to make the game more fun and have interesting content coming out, and recognize the faults in the format and the delivery of your game. So I think obviously it's sad to see players go. It's sad to see lobbies being turned into just worse version of what they're supposed to be, but it's something that's sort of natural in the course of just a game getting older and more mature, I think.
Are you okay? Fine. Like that's Overwatch. Like it's okay. Like they'll never die because the casual fan base, Rule 34, who whatever that is about Overwatch will stay, right? I mean, but are you guys genuinely enjoying Marvel Rivals like Overshake? Like, are you genuinely enjoying it? Because I never got to ask you this. Even when I talk to you, I have not asked you this, but I genuinely want to ask you, like, have you invested yourself in the game? Are you enjoying it?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't really been playing this much like this week. Like
Okay.
probably like an hour a day or two.
Here and there, yeah.
Yeah, I've been like working at my like part-time job, preparing to go for my trip. But yeah, I mean, to say that I'm not enjoying it, it's like, it's probably unfair because I'm already like level 33 in that game. Like, yeah, it's fun, I guess, to like a certain extent. Like when I play ranked, like I'm a passionate guy. Like when I see like a Doctor Strange going 9 and 12 in my team, I start like, I start typing something in the chat to make him know that I'm not happy with his performance. But at the end of the day, I think like it's a fun game. I don't know if the fan base will be as loyal as Overwatch's, because like no matter what they did to Overwatch, like they're still like loyal players, like Shine.
Yeah.
Like you're never gonna get like that like 5-man shatter fucking flat pog, like but in like Marvel Rivals, right? But I guess you can
Right.
bubble your Thor as Magneto or something. Like it's like
Yeah.
it's two different things that has two different enjoyments out of it, despite being a very similar game. And
Right.
I think I don't know actually, because I still like Overwatch. I still think I have more fun playing Overwatch, but I think because Marvel Rivals is new, I think I'm having more fun. But I think at the end of the day, like I'll go back to like I'll go back to my Overwatch. It's where my heart is at, instead of being like a cheating bitch playing Marvel Rivals all day. So
Okay, so you want to say that when the time comes and if there is an opportunity that calls you for an Overwatch, maybe a pro team calls you up or whatever, like a tournament or OWCS, you will stop your Marvel's grind, even if there is a Marvel Rivals major or minors, whatever is coming up, and you will select Overwatch over Rivals.
I think that's more relative towards like the opportunities that I'm presented with. I think like
Suppose it's the 20. Okay, suppose the 20th of January. I'll give you a very blatant choice. 20th of January 2025. You have a tournament that needs you at 9 a.m. and that has two sides to it. You either play Rivals, you either play Overwatch at the highest level. What do you play?
well, which one pays me more money? that's the
it?
important part.
Is that like, of course, like they have, okay, both have the equal price pool or whatever. Like, yeah, who do you think you're gonna choose?
I think that'll probably like come down to like, like probably the teammates in which team who I care about more in the team.
Okay.
If it's probably like the same roster, probably pick Rivals, I guess, because like it's a new thing. Haven't really competed that much in that before. It's probably
you want to
probably
make your
good to
name.
get my name out,
Yeah, you're gonna get your name on it. Got it. Glacier, why haven't you tried Rivals yet? What is stopping you?
Because you think it's cheating, dude.
Well, I guess that, but also, I've been grounded the last 2 weeks, so I really
What
haven't had a
did you
chance
do?
to play.
What did you do, bro?
Bad grades. Yeah.
Oh. Well, you get champ 4 and then you get bad grades, bro. Like it's like balance.
It was worth, honestly. So.
Yeah, you'll grow out of it. Don't worry, man. Like
Yeah, man, you get out of it, bro. Don't worry about it. Long life.
But
Sure.
I guess I could be playing it now, but I feel like I've already put so much time into Overwatch, and then having to start a new thing, like I feel like I know like some of my like game sense and stuff will transfer over, but I feel like I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like I'm enjoying Overwatch, like
Okay.
like playing
But
ranked
you are?
and stuff. Like,
You're
like
still
holding
enjoying
shield
Overwatch?
against some Mao guy, like just like
yeah, so exciting.
That's
yeah.
good. That's a good perspective because I am not. But that's a good take, Lo. Trust me, this podcast is giving me a lot of insights because even I did not expect Overshake to sit here, being level 33 on Rivals, reaching whatever the highest rank in the region is, and then come out here and say that I'll probably go back to Overwatch. I did not expect this answer. I also expected this. I also did not expect that you would still want to play Overwatch when Rivals is out because you're still enjoying it. I expected a lot of different takes, but this is very refreshing to be honest. Um, when it comes to Rivals, right? There is a major issue that I wanna put forward, which Overwatch doesn't have. That is the optimization.
Yeah.
Uh, I right now when I play the game and I play that hero that actually fucks your PC, right? I play that one hero which is Doctor Strange, right? You open a portal and I can AFK for the next 10 seconds. Like there's no way I can do anything, and I have a decent enough PC that can give me good FPS while streaming on Overwatch, right? It gives me on the highest settings. I can still play on my refresh rate lock monitor, whatever. Uh, but that is not the same case with Rivals. It doesn't. No matter what happens, it will not give me a decent FPS. I will not get a 144 FPS to lock my monitor, and my monitor is not even 240 hertz. I have two monitors, but it's not 240 hertz. So it will not even give me 144 lock to enjoy the game and give me the best experience that I can have. Um, why do you think the optimization is like that, Nightwing? What have we
Well,
done wrong?
okay. So just from a technical perspective, you have to understand that Overwatch is pretty much running on, as far as I understand, a completely purpose-built engine that Blizzard has made in-house, and the Marvel Rivals, in comparison, is based on Unreal Engine 5, which,
Right.
because of that, it comes with a lot of bloat and just a lot of unnecessary, or lack of optimizations compared to what Overwatch has going for it. To be fair to the developers, they've tried to add a bunch of technologies. There's support for so many different types of uh, upscaling. With XeSS, AMD FSR, they've added two different types of frame generation, which does increase input lag and stuff, but it is another way. So to be fair to the developers, they've tried their level best to add all of these technologies, but there is definitely still that optimization issue. Uh, but we also have to consider that uh, this is like just the game is recently released. So there will probably be, hopefully, some sort of patches to this if the team is dedicated enough to addressing that issue. But yeah, it is definitely really annoying. I tried to play today, especially, and every time Doctor Strange makes a portal, it just turns into the sun, and I just get flashbanged. That's essentially a second alt for him, I feel, for anyone that still has that bug. Um, but I think that over time these things can be smoothed out, especially in like today's game developer culture. You see these patches are being shipped out incredibly fast, and we just have this whole day zero patch, day one patch sort of system going on for pretty much any live service game at the moment. And there seems to be incredible interest in the game, so I'm sure they can also afford to actually put those resources in if players request it enough. So it's definitely not something that's fixed or okay right now, but I think I have decent faith in them being able to help it a little bit. But yes, the Unreal Engine 5 being the sort of baseline instead of a bespoke engine probably makes me not so confident that it will be as polished as
But
Overwatch.
Fortnite, you look at Fortnite, right? And then Fortnite had the same engine, no? I play Fortnite and I have no issues. Like, of course, I have not played Fortnite for more than 10 hours, but it runs smooth as butter. Like, you don't have a problem playing Fortnite at all. Like, it's just smooth.
All
To
right,
be
that's
fair,
when I
be
imagine
fair,
Sean building it's so funny. Like, just like
No,
doing-
but yeah, you get my point, right? Like, I have just played it, like, just to experience the engine difference. But it's a vast difference. Like, you play Rivals right now, Overshake.
yeah.
I don't get at 120 FPS is what I expect, and that is the bare, like, it's not a good expectation to have. Like, I just pray that okay, I'm logging into a game. I hope my FPS don't drop so that at least I can do my stuff for my team. Like, I can put my amount of work in. Because if
Yeah.
I can't turn or I can't see, those milliseconds of maybe the Iron Man ult, or maybe the shatter from Strange, IF Agamotto, whatever. It's game changing, and you lose. You open a TP and you just AFK. Like I'm AFK. Like I can't move. I actually cannot move. Like I have to rely on a lot of other things to help me. So those kind of things. Again, I'm saying this with all my heart. India has a population of 1.9 billion, and people are looking for fresher games to play because Valorant has become stale. The competitive uh, aspect of Valorant has become into a franchisee model. Global Esports, a very big brand in the Valorant franchisee, whatever they have. Global Esports has become the only team that competes at the high level, and whatever local tournaments we used to have, that used to have really good prize pool, like 50,000, not 50,000, like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. It happened every month, probably every 3 weeks. These kind of tournaments happened, and various sponsors used to splash in a lot of money when these kind of things happen. But this one optimization issue, people will not play the game because Valorant runs on the most potato PCs, right? You cannot expect the same from rivals. How much FPS do you get, like Overshake? Like I don't know your PCs, but what is your optimizations?
I think my PC is like pretty good. Like I get like 170 like concurrent, but
on any situation.
Maybe like when I load into that Wakanda map and then they start breaking the glass, I get like 30 or something. But it's like I don't know, like
30,
I feel like
130 or 30.
just 30. Like
What
that map is so
exactly?
shit. Like it's like
Yeah.
you load in and you're just like never triple digit frames. But I don't know. I feel like some of the things that like if you're like an FPS player, like it should definitely like it should be included in the game. Like the fact that I had to fucking type in like a prompt in like the game files to like turn off
Exactly.
like
Yeah. Why should I?
game acceleration, and like
Yeah.
I have to install like a mod that generates FPS to play the fucking game, which I still haven't done. But it's like it's so dumb, you know? Like it's like
I should
why
not be.
do I
I
have
should
to
not
do
be
that?
doing it. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Who in this universe would want to watch 20 YouTube videos on how to get more frames? Like Glacier, you play Overwatch for the longest. Have you ever installed a mod or a patch or a file, a custom file? Like, have you ever done that kind of thing in Overwatch? Right now, the optimization of Overwatch has been really good. Like, have you had any performance issues over the years, Glacier? Any Overwatch 1, 2?
For a while because my PC was bad, but then I mean, obviously, like it happens every once in a while, and then you just click reduce buffering, and then I mean, it's fine again. I average
that's the one trick.
I average like 500 FPS on Overwatch, so like
Damn.
I have a
That's
pretty good
300.
PC. So
So now you have a good PC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was curious. I didn't ask you that back when you said you were grounded. How seriously in the NA people take grounding? Like, how serious is that? Like, I don't know. Again, with all due respect, how serious is it?
probably not as serious as in India.
But you try to obey it. But you try to obey it as much.
Evade? What do I try to
Obey,
what?
like you try obey, like OBE.
Oh
or,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay. Because I have been grounded in the past when I was growing up. Like my mom used to take my, she used to lock this door and take the keys with her, like to her work. But I used to find another key, or I used to go call a locksmith, and then I used to play my games. I never took it seriously. So grounding in NA, is it different? That is why I wanted to know. So it's okay. Thanks for that insight. Why do you think Overwatch is better than Rivals, Glacier? And why are you because still now, because after Rivals has made a good entry into the scene, why do you think Overwatch is still more fun to you?
I mean, I don't have a great perspective on it yet because I don't have the time like sunk into Rivals. But I mean, also like going back on like the performance thing, like I have Marvel's downloaded, and I loaded in. I played one game ever. I played one game of Venom. I loaded up. I'm loading in the game, and I hear my PC like turn into an airplane. Like it was like the worst thing ever. It never happens for Overwatch. Like I hear, like
never happens.
Yeah,
Never happens.
Firebomb,
True.
yeah, I know.
Never happens.
So
Even it runs at a very high temperature as well. Like the temperatures, it runs on like at least 7 to 8 degrees average on a higher temperature when I'm running Overwatch. So that's a very big issue when it comes to lower end PCs, because people will not have good PCs, man. Come on, like you cannot make
Yeah.
a game and expect people to own a 2,000 or 3,000, like 3,000, $4,000 PC just to play your game. Like they will not do that. No one will do that. Probably they'll buy a console and they'll just start playing it. Like, but your PC market will just die, right? So, do you think, Nightwing, that rivals can actually do their shit better than Overwatch? I don't want to be harsh on anyone because Overwatch has been here for 7 years, right? And I'm giving them due respect. No matter, even if I stopped enjoying it or I stopped playing it, whatever, I don't want to take away their credit, whatever. They've done a good thing. If you look at the game solely, not the devs, not their controversies, nothing. I'm not going into that part. Just we are gamers. I'm not interested in what they're doing back end. I just want to have a fair experience in gaming. So I just talk gaming sense. I don't want to know what the CEO is doing. I don't care. I actually do not care. I just want a good game to play. If you're giving me a good game, I'll play. Otherwise, I'll not play. Whatever. Right. So, in terms of getting an experience, do you think rivals can rival in the coming days? What do you see yourself playing? Like, what do you see yourself waking up, going to your university, doing your chores, whatever, coming back? What interests you as a gamer? Would you log in to Overwatch or would you log in to rivals if you're given a choice? Like, what is your mindset like?
I think currently, Overwatch has my like Overwatch playtime has definitely gone down, just because it feels like there is, in some ways, too much survivability, but also the player base has, like, because the game has matured to this point, I know what to expect from each game, so everything is less surprising to me, less interesting to me, unless I was, genuinely trying to grind it out again and learn the specifics of the game, to like climb even higher, try and go for champ or something. I feel like just casually playing Overwatch right now just feels like going through the motions. It doesn't feel very exciting to me. So right now, this is a new game. I'm interested in learning how the different characters work. But honestly, I still have a soft spot for Overwatch because Overwatch has a lot better of a sort of a power fantasy thing. There's a lot more immersion, because in Overwatch you have a very few, like, almost curated set of abilities. You don't have as much stuff going on, whereas Rivals feels more like an MMORPG where you have like so many different buttons to press. You have your C, your team up ability, among all the other controls. So I don't know, honestly. For now, I'm having fun exploring Rivals, but as that game also matures, it will just be up to how fun each individual match feels. Right now, I'm having fun playing Marvel Rivals and actually Tekken. But yeah,
Tekken, right. Do you think it's a issue, Overshake, like milking this same game for 7 years has made it tiring, or are you like that one guy who just finds his place in that one game and just sticks to it forever? Like, again, it's a self-realization, I feel. Because I had been that one guy for the longest when I played Call of Duty 4 back in 2015, Modern Warfare, and I played the pro version of it, like the professional version was called Pro Mod, and I used to play that for the longest, and I had a fear of switching, that I will never be good at another game. Then I got Overwatch and I stuck with it for like 7 years. So do you think it's a mindset issue that people don't swap games as much, and end up burning out, rather than trying different games, being good at most of the games? For example, right now, I'll give you a very basic example, like Shroud, right? If Shroud hops into any game, right, he will not be the worst player on your team. It's very rare. Any game, like you give him a couple of days, he will learn the game and he will find his way in the game. Like there has been no game where he has been like utterly poor. But if someone like me tries Valorant, any Andy, maybe me, maybe even Nightwing, right? I'm not being disrespectful. Maybe even Glacier. If he tries Valorant, right, he will not be that good that Shroud can be, right? So he ends up not burning himself out. I know he's a content creator, but that idea of playing that different games at different points of time, do you think that can be a good advice to up and coming gamers? so that they don't burn themselves out and they don't feel miserable about themselves when the game implements certain impositions on you where uh, this is the character, play it or get fucked.
Damn, that was long.
Yeah.
I think like hmm. I think it's more dependent on like how the individual feels. If if you really like Overwatch, I think there's nothing wrong with like just sticking to Overwatch, right? I think like
Okay.
when Valorant came out, I kind of regretted like not playing it a little bit because like I think it has some like very transferable skills from with like Overwatch, like it has like ability cooldowns and like you just need to learn the map, how to use the skills, like how to use the
Shooting
cooldowns and
mechanics are
all that.
different. Shooting
Yeah, the
mechanics are different.
shooting mechanics are different, but at the end of the day, you just fucking like point and click with your right hand. You know, like how different can it be? Like, I think for me, I wish I picked up Valorant sooner. So I think when Marvel Rivals came out, like this could be like the next best thing. I don't want to miss out on that, so I didn't want to
So
make
you,
like the same mistake I did with Valorant.
so you got a day one ticket.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say day one ticket because I didn't play the beta.
It's the same, man. I mean, I know, but you watched a lot of Rivals. Like I know, like even when it was beta, you did try to watch and get acquainted to the scene as much as you could.
I don't think so. I don't think I watched any. Like I
Any.
listened to Lumi on Discord like yap about how fucking good he is. Like he fucking does all the time. Like it's actually so annoying. Like that guy should actually just like shut up sometimes. But anyway, like
True. Yeah.
yeah, I think in general just like
It's
being
just
able
like
to play more games is better because like you can play with different friends from my personal experience. But I think
Okay.
like you can't be good at every game, like unless you're like a freak of nature. So I think
you don't have to be good. You just have to be like you just have to be able to enjoy it. Because I know in Singapore there is a player in your community. I'm not sure how much you know him. He's called Squeaky. Do you know him?
yeah, I love that guy to death. He's so nice. He
Yeah.
always sends me like positive messages.
He's so nice, right?
Yeah.
That guy he streams every day without failing. He plays fucking quick play, bro, and
Yeah.
he just grinds the shit out of every quick play to like 6-7 hours of quick play. I cannot be him. He enjoys Overwatch like anything. I cannot be him, and
Yeah.
I actually envy that. Like that one aspect where I can log into this game and I can have fun. It's a game. I can have fun. Bro, no one
Yeah.
is
I mean,
paying me. Like I'm not going to make it to owl, right? Come on, that's not going to happen. So I can at least have fun, right? And I can't. So that part where you can have fun is so like Overwatch has taken that away from me. I don't know why though. Because I think it's my issue. I think at the end of the day.
nah, bro. Like you just play rank too much alone. Like yeah, you just meet
Yeah.
like cancer randoms and you just want to die. Like and then
True.
I think like Squeaky, like he just plays quick play with his friends. He has fun, like
Yeah.
that's kind of. And I think like for some of us, like we get like our enjoyment from games is like the competitive aspect of it, like getting like our dopamine receptors go like ding 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 when like we get like the high rank. So it's like
Yeah.
yeah, and like if
So
you
that's
beat
the
like
part.
people that you really want to beat, like that's like the enjoyment out of it. And I think once you get good at one game, you're kind of greedy with it. Like you want to get better at other games and like be the best at all of them. But it's just hard to, you just don't have enough time for that. Not everyone does.
True. But I think Glacier has a lot of time. He's 16. Glacier, what do you think? When you turn 17, will you be still playing Overwatch or do you have other plans? Like, what's your plan? I don't know actually. Like, what's your immediate next plan? Not where you're going to get a job, not where your first paycheck is coming from. I don't want to know about that right now. Of course, you have that planned, of course, and I'll be happy if you do good for yourself. But right now, the podcast is about Rivals and Overwatch. But I really want to know your perspective when you turn 17. What is your next step? Where are you going?
Like obviously I'll still be playing Overwatch, I think, but I
Right.
I think I'd be down to like try out other games or something like that. I just haven't gotten like. I feel like
You mean
Overwatch is
competitively, right? You mean
yeah,
competitively?
yeah.
Okay.
Like things
What other
like
games have you played? What other games have you played? Like any-
played like 2 games of Valorant. I mean,
Okay.
I just couldn't get into the game. I don't know why. I tried, and my first game of quick play was like an hour long, and I was like, yeah, this is So
Yeah, it's too long. Valorant's too long, bro.
yeah, and then
Okay.
I played one game of Rivals, but I'd obviously be down to try it more. Like the things that are the most cringe for Valorant about me is the player base somehow is more cringe than Overwatch is. I don't know how they managed to do that. Like I post on TikTok trying to like push my content and trying to like be more known to the public and stuff like that. And I'll
Right.
post, and then like 5 of the comments under my Overwatch post are like, "Just hop on Rivals, bro. Just hop on Rivals, bro." Like
Ah.
it's actually insane.
I mean, it's with any content creator. Like if you play a certain game, and anyone else watches you, they'll ask you to hop on the other one, and that
Yeah.
happens. That happens. So it's a thing. So you're open to try other games, right? That's a good take, because when I try to incorporate the same in my life, I'm 31 years old. I'm probably the oldest of the lot here, and I still enjoy
31.
playing games. Yeah, I am 31, so I
You're
still
double
enjoy playing
Glacier's age, dude. Oh my god. When you were playing COD, he wasn't even born. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah, whatever, man. Sure, I'm double his age, and I still enjoy playing. So I'm take this with a grain of salt when you are going to be 31. And I'm not saying as a father figure or whatever, but I'm saying this as someone who enjoys gaming. When you be 31, and because you're passionate at the age of 16, you'll still be passionate when you're 31, even though your skills will go downhill. That will happen. Trust me, that will happen. You can still keep a part of your skill, but there are other things that will fall down over time. And that has happened to me. I know, I can see it. Uh, but over the time, I have seen that I keep getting stuck at a plateau, and I don't want to go down. I don't want to go up. It's just there, and it's just whatever, and I've stuck to it. When it comes to you personally, Nightwing, how do you manage your gaming hours? Like how is your like how good are your competitive hours or your competitiveness compared to whatever other things are going on in your life?
Okay. This is an interesting question, actually. I used to be neurotic about competitiveness. I could not enjoy stuff like quick play. I was like you in that sense. I was like, quick play is for losers. I would play only comp, and then even when my friends would ask to play with me, I would be like, no, I'm not playing with you on my main. I'll go on an alt and play with you, but like you're not going to ruin my SR. And I was like, well, like I was super like gatekeepy about that. But then over time, I've just realized that the game, my rank has nothing to do with my self-worth. My enjoyment has nothing to do with the number I'm seeing on screen. So while it is really fun to figure out the game, to get to a new rank, to participate in tournaments, to try and get wins, that's not really worth being constantly miserable for, and raging at like random people, like the single father of three people like three kids who just came home and wants to play Junkrat. Like, let him play the game, right? And like hopping into voice chat, like calling people trash all the time. Like, I think I've outgrown that. I understand why, because when you're playing the game, over and over again, that can get really annoying, because you're putting in a lot more effort, a lot more focus, and the other guy is just holding M1. So I understand where that disconnect comes from, but I think if you see which people are really coming out on top in the different ways you can play games, most of the content creators that are still playing Overwatch, they're all basically fucking around in games. It's either that or they're so mad that they're just constantly raging. Their hormones have been at an all-time high for the past half a decade. Like, it's either you can mess around, have fun, like Emong, or you can constantly be screaming at your screen like unsalted salt, right? Which would you rather have? So I think for me, since
Which
you've
would you
asked,
rather watch? Which would you rather watch? What's your guilty stream?
Unsalted.
Yes.
Surely.
Unsalted. I mean,
Yeah.
like to an extent, I feel like the rage baiting and stuff like that is like kind of
Is good.
cringe, but like it in certain times I feel like it's like really funny to watch and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like some guy just go off on like some random that went like 4-13 in his game or whatever. So
Just
That is funny.
Samito every
Yeah,
Yeah.
so much anger in the world, man.
Old Samito was the funniest thing ever. It was actually insane.
Yeah, he was so
Just
ready. He was so ready.
every patch that came out, he had like a mortal nemesis within that patch that he just had to kill.
Nah, he's
Every
like,
patch was like
I,
every patch he had like 7 videos for a patch.
Yeah.
I swear, he's like the ninja of like fucking Overwatch. Like he's like so much rage in that man, just without the
True.
supercars, you know.
Samito, my 20th video about how Widow was broken.
Exactly. No way, man. Like
I love that guy
he
to death.
complained so much. He made so much content that I think he was a major influencer who bought this 6v6 movement around. If not the most major, I think he was one of the top guys who constantly pushed it, and somehow we are in that place where we can expect a 6v6 mode coming in soon or whatever. But he did a good job, or he pushed the community to the core where they had to say yes, and that's a good thing. Like I want people to be vocal about stuff, but not in a bad way. Like the vocal should come in a very in a nice tone, not like me in my ranked games, right? It should come in a very a subtle tone where it's good to hear and good to say. No one will get offended, and people can slowly but surely realize like there are mistakes that need to be corrected and that should be corrected and that will be corrected over time. Like I have felt always that, and I try to do my part educating people of like, Glacier, when you I promise you, once you queue to our server, right? Cloudy played on our server, right? He came to Malaysia for a bit and he played on our server. I played like a couple of games versus him. He lost. He actually lost. I'm not kidding. To me. And I was playing Ryan. It's a miraculous server. I have made videos also. It's a miraculous server. Like you will not win no matter how good you are. Like you climb to M2, M3 and you play Reinhardt after that, your life will be miserable. And any other server that I go to, I get 150 ping plus. So it's not possible for me to switch servers also. So I am kind of character locked. I am region locked. And my skill has also reached its peak. Like it will not grow. It will just stay. If I can keep polishing it, it will not be like the best. I know that for me. So that's the thing where I am kind of, I have left myself there. I hope you don't reach that level, and I hope the best for all of you. And I really value your time, and I've taken, I think, 1.5 hours from you, and I really value all of you to join. And I hope all the best for you wherever you go, Overshake, whatever you're doing with your professional career. I hope you still be playing Overwatch, Glacier, when you turn 31 or what.
Oh God, you're just cursing him to death. Like,
because I'm sure the game is not going to die, bro. I know that. So
what are you wishing on the poor kid, bro? Like,
no, but I really hope the best for you, Glacier. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Overshake, for joining. And Nightwing, I really hope you can enjoy gaming one step at a time, and then just keep finding what is more enjoyable to you, and do great things. Thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure. And this has been the first episode of our HOE-LAY podcast. And I'll see you guys in the next one.